Welcome to Behind the Doors, the podcast where we take you behind the scenes of residential real estate investing. I'm your host, Dan Noma Jr., here with my co-host, Marvin Cruz.
We're here to help you unlock the best strategies and practice for investors. Whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned pro looking to scale your portfolio.
We've spent decades navigating the ever-changing world of real estate, and now we're sharing everything we've learned to help you succeed.
From off-market deals to cash flow management and everything in between, we'll break it down and bring you actionable insights that can make a real difference in your investments.
So get ready to open the door to new opportunities and take your real estate investing to the next level. Let's dive in. All right, Marv, we're here with, we got Ramon still, and Ramon is an expert.
Still
He's still an expert?
I don't know if that's
Ramon
still an expert,
but we're going to bring, I don't feel like we barely scratched the surface with this, but real estate agents out there, Ramon, you've been running teams since birth, it seems. What, if you're an agent today in this market, and this may be one of the most unique markets we've seen in a long time, right?
Yep.
What are you doing every day? Like what are the fundamental things that you're doing every day as an agent today to dominate the business? What are you doing?
Well, it's not a hard market. You just haven't adapted. I believe in that full force. That's our belief as a company. Second is that the hardest thing about being an agent in 2025 is that you're inundated with new shiny objects, a better way to do it, somebody marketing this course, telling you this, podcast, books, social media, influencers, your broker, team leader, other agents. Everyone's telling you a different way to do it. And what happens is you have good intention, you want to work hard, you do want to serve people, but when you wake up in the morning, you flounder because doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that gets you absolutely nowhere. You don't build any momentum that way. And so we stick to the fundamentals of the business, and we have a belief that 9 times out of 10, to grow your income, to grow your business, you need to do more or better, rarely new. I want to say that one more time. 9 times out of 10, to grow your business, you need to do more or better, rarely new. And so the fundamentals work. There's a high probability you're just not doing enough of them. And quality is made through the quantity. So the more quantity you do, the more quality you get. The efficiencies and getting better at the craft, and then you do more, and then you get better, and then you do more. And I think this concept is pretty simple, but agents don't have the blinders on. They're not channeled in a proven playbook every morning. When they wake up, you should know exactly what to do and how to do it. And if you don't, that's a problem.
Right? But as an agent, Ramon, it's not me. It's the seller. Wow. They are being hit with these same things, and now I'm trying to fight that.
Call that external solutions for internal problems. And I think, again, going back to the market's not difficult, you just haven't adapted. The sellers today have different needs, and there's a different market than there once was. And same thing goes with buyers. And, for example, if assumptions, if you haven't taken a course and gotten certified and started understanding how assumptions move, like why doesn't somebody want to sell? Oh, because they have a great rate. Did you know I can get you the same rate on another property? Right? Buyer, interest rates are too high. Did you know I can help you assume a government loan, right? USDA, FHA, VA. And these are like simple things, but agents won't take the time to go learn them. And that's just one example of a segment of the market that I think whoever knows that stuff is winning.
I mean, to your point, right? They're getting up every day, and then and there's nothing wrong with this, right? But they're going to like an Instagram, learning class, right? Which is new. And I believe in like building personal brand and all of that. I think it's amazing, but you got to have the fundamentals first, right? And like actually be able to help the people. And so spending your time wisely, your time is probably the biggest commodity you've got, right? And you've got to make sure that you're managing your time appropriately, doing the fundamental stuff first. You get all of that, then there's time for everything else.
You guys touched on it. What are those fundamentals?
I mean, I'll just give you one because there's a lot of them, but let's give you one. Open houses, phenomenal example, right? Are those work? Absolutely, those are work. Are they sometimes nobody shows up and you're standing there for 2 hours? Absolutely. But when an agent goes, open houses don't work, I'm like, well, how many of them did you do last month, last year? Oh, I did 1 a month, 12 total. I'm like, well, I don't know anything you can do 1 a month that works personally. My question is, well, what would happen if you did 12 a month? You would 10x your input. And what do you think that would do to the output? And most agents don't have it tracked either, so they don't actually know.
Yeah.
But that's just one example of like, 1, 2 a month. I agree that probably shouldn't work. But if you increase that, a simple volume increase, we always say volume negates luck with anything. And I think that's one of the fundamentals that I hear it all the time, and it's just sad to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that blows my mind a little bit still is that, agents don't have a CRM and aren't consistently touching their own database, right? They think they only need to talk to somebody when they're transacting or buying and selling. And, I learned early on in my career that business is built on relationship and business was built on referrals.
Yep.
And, I took some courses. I think we talked about it in one of the things that I took this by referral only thing with this guy, Joe Stump. And it was amazing, right? That kind of opened my eyes to the idea of you can bring customer service into this. And then you can also ask for referrals, right? And you can actually talk to somebody during whenever.
Yep.
And start asking for referrals, so
that's a fundamental. So if you ask about the fundamentals,
I love
asking
that.
for referrals,
that.
I would say is probably top of the list.
right. But that's the reason, that's your reason that you're calling, but they don't know that when you're making the call, right? So it's, hey, Marvin, just Dan, I'm really just checking in. Wanted to let you know that 2 properties in your neighborhood sold, and they sold for this, meaning that your equity in your property probably bumped a little bit. So congrats on you. Good on you. That's amazing. By the way, the reason I get to drop stuff like this to you is because I have time, because all of my business comes by way of referral, right? So if you can help me by referring somebody to me, I can do more of this kind of stuff for you. So who do you know that wants to buy or sell?
Yeah.
And people love that because they're everybody wants to give you their guy, right? Does anybody have a guy to fix windshields? It's everybody will send you their guy, So same thing here in real estate. You just got to be willing to ask, right? There's an art in doing it.
There's an art in doing it, and there's a loyalty gap in real estate. And I think that understanding that 80% of the time people will say, Dan was great. I would refer you to my friends and family. I would use you again. On average, that seller is going to do something in real estate, a transaction every 5 to 7 years, and you have a less than 15% chance of getting the deal again.
Yeah.
And I think that is terrifying. And we can go into a rabbit hole on tracking and database usage, but that statistic alone is terrifying as an agent. There's really no reoccurring revenue model if you don't create it in your business.
Yep.
It's not just going to happen. That's the stat.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Behind the Doors. We hope you found today's insights valuable for your real estate investing journey.
Remember, real estate success doesn't happen overnight, but with the right tools and strategies, you can build long-term wealth and create passive income.
If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with others who are passionate about real estate investing.
Don't forget to follow us on social media for more tips and exclusive content.
Until next time, keep unlocking new opportunities, and we'll see you on the next episode of Behind the Doors.